Okay, Sumita, you can carry on with your slides, please.
Can you hear me, Captain?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Captain, for your introduction on IoT.
Okay.
And I'm Sumita, biomedical engineer from Healthcare Engineering team, and I'm going to continue this session with the IoT technologies implemented in healthcare. So the first technology we are going to see is the UAV technology. This UAV is nothing but unmanned aerial vehicle. The UAV is an aircraft which does not need a pilot for operation. So it is either operated by a person in ground control station or it is operated autonomously by a pre-programmed flight plan. Since this UAV technology is operated remotely, we call it as drones or a drone technology. So now we will see the uses of this UAV technology. So at first, drones are used in areas affected by natural disasters by delivering food and medical supplies to the public. Drones also help to provide more efficient healthcare to patients from a distance, and therefore hospitals use indoor drones for delivering medications to bedside patients, and it also carries laboratory samples to deliver in the respective departments or for testing purposes. These drones also carry medical devices and other medications in and around the hospital. So in Rwanda, an East African country, the drones are used to transport donor blood during the pandemic situation. This drone technology is also easier for providing home-based care or outpatient care. In case of an emergency situation, blood sample can be drawn from the patient and it is immediately sent by the drone to the lab for testing. Drones are also useful for elderly care. Therefore, smaller drones with manipulating arms can be used to bring them medications. They also do their jobs like they grab a glass of water and they also even sort out the laundry works. So the next one is the drones for the blind. Yes, drones are useful for visually impaired people. The drones fly at a particular distance along with the user, and these drones use computer vision technology and GPS technology to detect the obstacles, and they also track the matching routes and other traffic informations. And these data are collected and transmitted to the user via a Bluetooth headset which is given by a voice command. The next we will see is the advantages of drone technology. The advantages of drone technology include they improve the healthcare in remote locations by delivering quality health facilities, and the drone technology is time saving. It is time saving because it provides proper care by reaching the victims on time who require immediate medical attention. The drone technology also decreases the cost associated with medical care. And the final advantage is that the drone technology has increased ability to care for elderly persons. The next technology is the RFID, nothing but radio frequency identification. The RFID is a wireless system or a wireless technology which uses radio waves at several different frequencies to transfer data. So here is the basic RFID system where the system consists of RFID reader and RFID tag and antenna. So let us now see what is an RFID reader. RFID reader is a device which has one or more antenna that emits radio waves and receives signal back from the RFID tag. The RFID tag is attached to the assets in the hospital environment to transmit stored data to the antenna. So this RFID tag is of two types. One is active RFID tag and another one is the passive RFID tag. The active RFID tags are more accurate when compared to passive RFID tags. Therefore, active RFID tag is used in wheelchairs, patient beds, and other larger hospital properties for better tracking facility. Passive RFID tags are of low cost and are very small, but they are easily attached to smaller devices. These passive RFID tags also have the ability to tag many items at once. The passive RFID tag can track assets even when Wi-Fi connection is not available. Next, we will move on to the antenna. The antenna receives the stored data from the RFID tag and transmits that data to an RFID reader. And at last, the final data is transmitted into the computer database where it can be stored and evaluated. Now we will look into the applications of RFID technology in healthcare. The applications include patient tracking, inventory management, equipment and asset tracking, and drug authentication. So what is patient tracking? Patient tracking is the tracking the location of patient along with their history of medical records. The next one, inventory management. RFID is used in inventory management for checking the stock availability and tracking the orders. In equipment and asset tracking, RFID is used to check the availability and the location of equipments, for example, wheelchairs. So, in case of any situation, if a person need a wheelchair, he or she can be able to track the location and the availability of the wheelchair in and around the hospital environment with the help of this RFID technology. And the final one is the drug authentication. This involves checking drug stocks and also to ensure that patients receive correct medication on time. So this also prevents the counterfeit of drugs. So now, in what ways RFID is used? So we have RFID wristbands, RFID sensors, and RFID embedded devices. So what are RFID wristbands? For patient tracking purpose, RFID wristbands are used. So this is specially useful for newborn babies to avoid matching with wrong parents and from kidnapping issues. These RFID labels can be used to secure babies. The next one is the RFID sensor. These sensors are used in surgical instruments to keep track of them, and this prevents them from causing a serious issue where the device has been accidentally left inside a patient's body during surgery. So for this purpose, RFID sensors are being embedded in surgical instruments. So what are the RFID embedded devices? RFID embedded medical devices are also used for tracking the health condition of the patient. The embedded medical device reduces the time to diagnose. These devices consist of a preloaded disease symptom file, and with the help of this file, the device may perform tests and acquire data, and it also stores the data of each patient on the cloud for further analysis. So what are the advantages of RFID technology? The advantages include real-time tracking, maintain standards and compliance, and storing the data and medical error reducing. So the first one, RFID technology in hospitals, supply chain management and labs offer real-time tracking of assets, products and lab samples. The second one, RFID technology enables hospitals can monitor the quality of drugs in the supply chain in order to maintain the standards and compliance. Third one, RFID data can be stored, managed and shared online. Therefore, this is easier for maintaining electronic medical records and asset management applications. And the final advantage is that RFID reduces the medical errors. The third technology we are going to see is the IoT wearable technology. Wearable technology is most popular in today's world, which keep track of the everyday health condition of the patient by monitoring the vital signs. These wearables play a major role in accurate data collection and helpful in remote patient monitoring. And since we all know about glucose monitors, smartwatches, we will now see the trending IoT wearable devices in the market. Now the first device is the smart breast pump, which is a portable and compact device. This smart breast pump is invisible and it is also less in weight. The smart breast pump can be worn inside a nursing or maternity cloth, and the pump is placed in the chest and it is connected to a specially designed app. So with the help of this app, the breast pump monitors the milk volume and the pumping history of each breast. It also has auto turn on and off options. The next device is the personal EKG monitor. This personal EKG monitor records EKG recordings in just 30 seconds. It also detects atrial fibrillation, tachycardia, bradycardia or normal heart rhythms. This personal EKG monitor is connected to a smartphone app and data can be shared with the physician for instant review. So, with the use of this personal EKG monitor, there is no need of messy wires, patches or gels which we use in the normal ECG machines. So, the next device is the smart inhaler. Smart inhalers are an advanced form of inhalers that are digitally connected to an app. They help physicians to manage patients' condition more effectively. These smart inhalers use Bluetooth technology and they also remind patients to take their medication on time. This device also alerts the patient with the help of the smartphone, like when a patient enters a highly polluted area, this helps them to decide whether to avoid the environment or not. The smart inhaler also tracks and helps the patient to know how often the inhaler has been used in order to reduce the medical error caused by the product. So the next device is the BioPatch. So what is a BioPatch? BioPatches are nothing but non-invasive wearables for advanced patient monitoring. These BioPatches are small, elegant devices that provide valuable information for the physician as well as nurses. These BioPatches monitor vital signs such as ECG, heart rate, respiration rate, body posture, and in case of fall detection, and it also records the activity of a person and it records the blood pressure, weight, and oxygen saturation. This BioPatch must be used only once and it is for single use and it must be disposed to minimize infection. So some biopatches are attached to the patient in the left side of their chest to monitor the parameters as it is given in the image. The next device is the baby monitoring sensor. So it is a kind of temperature tracking sensor. This sensor is in the form of a soft patch and the patch can be easily placed under the child's arm. So this patch is a Bluetooth sensor which measures different temperature at different intervals. It measures the temperature between 87 and 109.3 degree Fahrenheit. So this sensor measures the body temperature of the child for up to 48 hours, and the recorded temperature will be sent to the child's parents via a Bluetooth or to their smart device. So this technology is ideal for today's busy parents. The next device we are going to see is the pregnancy contraction monitor. So this pregnancy contraction monitor is a wireless monitor which is connected to a smartphone app, and this app helps in tracking womb's activity starting from 31st week of pregnancy. So this contraction monitor effortlessly deals with the timing, and it also tells accurate labor contractions. Therefore, doctors also get quality insights on the history of a pregnancy, and they can make better decisions and care about the labor procedures. So here is the device of Smart Fertility Tracker. The Smart Fertility Tracker is used for tracking period cycles, and this gives better insight of their fertility as well as pregnancy and overall health status of a woman. So women can wear this smart fertility tracker in the night during sleep, and it is also useful for pregnant women for tracking weight, sleep and stress levels. So this is how IoT wearables play a major role in supporting women's health. And the final one is the emergency care, which is a life-saving system. So the major goal of emergency care is to save time and improve patient care. So the life-saving system is connected to wearables, home-based security systems, cars, etc. To collect all the information such as name, health profile, blood group, and other necessary informations of a person, and these data can be stored in the cloud. If in case of any emergency, this system sends data to emergency service, and thus the ambulance team will be prepared with everything on time to provide proper care. Today IoT-enabled wearable medical devices play a significant role in healthcare industry by offering essential information for the patients to keep their health in control. Wearable devices like oximeters and digital stethoscopes are useful in real-time patient monitoring in telemedicine, and our team member Ashini will continue the session with telemedicine and other security issues. And that's all about my part. So, do you have any doubt? Does anyone have any doubt?
Students, please feel free to ask any doubts from Sumita's concepts. She has wonderfully explained some modern applications. If you guys have any doubts, please feel free to ask her. Don't hesitate, huh? Please ask.
Hello, ma'am. This is Vibha here.
Yeah, hello.
Ma'am, you told us about the smart inhalers. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, ma'am, is it possible for us to collect data from the smart inhalers and to conduct research in the future? As in, we've seen a lot of people are affected by asthma. And
Okay.
also, rather than just one patient monitoring, one device monitoring, is it possible for us to collect data and conduct research further?
Yeah, sure. Actually, it has a Bluetooth technology. You can also transfer the data or you can store the data in the cloud.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, and about the pregnancy contraction device, it detects the contractions. Ma'am, how accurate are we about it? Is it always trustable?
Actually, everything depends upon the device it's also related to the manufacturing details. So everything depends on it depends on the manufacturer side. No, it don't affect the baby. It doesn't radiate any harmful rays.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, right now, owing to the cost, it is not very feasible for us to implement it all over, right?
Yeah, right.
So, ma'am,
So
what will
IoT
be the
devices are
option?
costly. Sorry?
So, what will be our alternate option for it? How do we come up with a means to make it more cost friendly and make it available to the population all around, all classes of population?
Okay, since we are biomedical engineers, why can't we manufacture or why can't we design our own device at low cost?
Yes, ma'am, that's absolutely right. That's the challenge, I guess, for now.
Yeah, that's why we are studying biomedical engineering, right? We have to find these things as the challenge, and we have to invent something which can be affordable by all of us, even the middle class and the low class families, right?
At least
Yes,
we
sir,
can
yes, sir,
try.
absolutely.
Maybe any students here, they can take this one as a challenge and do it for their final project. Just give a try, right?
Yes, sir, we'll try. Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank you
for
so
the
much
guidance. Thank you, ma'am.
for
It's
some
been
good
very
questions.
Thank
informative.
Thank
you.
you so much. And
Thank you.
we expect some more questions, please.
Yeah, biomedical department is one where we have a lot of scope for research. It is unexplored field,
Yes, definitely.
untouched area in engineering. So we
Yeah.
have a lot of scope for engineering research over here.
Hmm.
And I can give a number of problems
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, number of research problems I can give.
Mm-hmm.
This is one where it's an unexplored area.
Yeah.
Even yeah. So other engineering fields have become saturated, but still biomedical is young. I call it as young in
In the
that
industry,
field.
yeah. Any questions, students? Please ask. So, if you don't have any questions, can we go to the third speaker? Can we hand over the session to the third speaker?
Yes, sir. We'll have the next session.
Okay.
Okay. So, dear students, as Mr. Gaston said, we have our own YouTube channel. So, you can visit our channel for more interesting topics like this. And to get in touch with us, you can also follow us in the social medias like WhatsApp and Facebook, and the link will be given in your chat box. So, I'm handing over the session to Ashini.
Over to you, Ashwini.